So as many of y'all know, I live in a small town in Georgia, and this is a piece kind of about that, a part of the slut and the prude, and these are about people who I love very dearly. This one can't have his nipples touched. I look up from my computer to see my roommate standing in my doorway. Bill's exhausted expression tells me everything I need to know. The thin walls of our 4-person apartment didn't leave much up to the imagination. Come on in. Bill scrambles onto my bed and puts a pillow over his head. My room didn't share a wall with his, and I had a good speaker system playing a constant barrage of heavy metal. There was peace in my little sanctuary. Fuck that bitch! I sat with a spaghetti strand hanging half out of my mouth. No. He is doing plenty of fucking. No need to push more of that on him. Hands gesturing madly as he paced the room. I feel like I'm missing something, I said, taking a sip of my water. I want to watch him get hit with a bus, but I'd be scared to stand too close, lest I get sprayed with chlamydia-filled chunks. He is not going to leave any for the rest of us. That horror. For about 5 months, did I live in a special kind of hell. The source of the problem, the slut and the prude. The two were sworn enemies, like something out of a comic book. Maybe it was hoping for too much that 4 homos could live in an apartment in peace. Nips and the slut didn't last long. He was in the closet, and considering the slut had been with his roommate only 2 weeks before, one could say the situation was complicated. I was sad to see him go. He was a nice guy, was in the ROTC. Isaac was the only one with a real name. He was the first one we saw, a freshman, and was the roommate of Nips. From what I heard, neither of them knew the other was interested in sex with men. Could have been a bonding experience for the two. Butler was after that. He was around for almost 2 months, actually living with us. He had been a friend from high school, I think, who was kicked out of his house after his parents found out he was gay. He was living with us for a place to stay, and then the two started sleeping together, and the slut tried to get Butler to stay with him over the Thanksgiving break, but Butler ended up moving home after a talk with his parents. We never did see him again. There wasn't much time to be single. But the prude was above all that. He was keeping his sparkly virginity for someone special. And he was on the quest to find that person. Prince Charming couldn't stay hidden for long. Every weekend was spent with several dates or new guys lined up to talk to. It was a numbers game, and it wouldn't be long. Prince Charming would be A, educated, B, sexy, C, a virgin, D, straight edge. Each date would end with a chaste kiss and a promise to call, which would never end up happening. There would be no compromise. I have heard straight people talk about how men and women can't be friends, and I stare at them like they're crazy. Are men and women, these two species, completely unable to communicate with each other outside of the act of mating? No. They claim that someone always ends up developing feelings for each other, which never ends up good. There is something to be said for the trouble that is mixing your friends in your dating pool. It all exploded in our faces when the prude brought home porn star. Thank you.